Nice pose there, Cundy.
Thank you, Big Daddy. Welcome to Ringside Seat. Big Daddy, how are you doing this evening?
I'm not too bad, Mr. Cundy. How are you?
Good, thank you. The Enforcer has the night off tonight.
You know what? I just want to get on to that. This kid, he's making all this money, and he gets the night off like this?
That's it. Enforcer deserves one night off, you know?
What kind of show you running here, Cundy?
Hey, you never know, you know? He deserves night off.
Yeah, he deserves a lot of things.
He's done a lot for the show.
Well, we just...
And deserves night off.
Give a little shout out to the Enforcer. We'll talk to you soon.
Mommy. Actually, I got the short brown hair going tonight. Big
the short brown hair is looking very stylish. I see you threw a little bit of gel in there, and it's looking pretty good.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of gel here in Brantford after the show we had.
There certainly was a lot of silicone and gel in that show.
If you will. We'll have some footage of that a little later on this evening. Sorry for the delay. There's been some slight...
And the key word there is?
Delay.
There you go.
But Big Daddy, you're looking mighty...
I look like I lost a few pounds, don't I?
Have some salads lately or what?
I've been having many salads, and I just want to give a little shout out to a bunch of people at Classics Cafe, Vic's, you know. I don't want to get into all that. This is, from what I understand, a holiday edition of Ringside Seat. I'd like to give my greetings and salutations and all that merry ho-ho-ho stuff for the holiday season coming up.
That's it, Big Daddy. And this is Ringside Seat's last show. Well, actually, next week is the last show, but me and the Enforcer will be at the Raw taping at the Coliseum.
I think it's a crime that it's the last show.
As well as you are, but...
Yes.
Negotiations are going on the way for next season, and then, you know, the word will be out pretty soon when we'll be back on the air.
Well, Ringside Seat is definitely on the cutting edge. Obviously, everyone knows that. You're informative, you got things going on, and whenever you come back on the air, that's to be a site to be determined, at a place and time to be announced. Ringside Seat 99 is going to be their year, I have a feeling.
Exactly, with the Big Daddy.
Yeah, so, well, I appreciate that, and I won't be able to be here all the time. You know, it's yourself and the Enforcer, but I will be making some guest appearances with the new bit that you have here on Ringside Seat, On the Road with the Guardian of Chaos.
And you were here last week. You showed your light on some independent news that
yes,
around the world.
Now, what do you got? Now, what happened here with the pay-per-views? I see you got your notes. It's good to see you doing your homework. It's about damn time.
Thank you very much.
So give us the rundown here, Cundy. Enforcer's not here to carry the show. His back is killing him from carrying me all the time.
Well, after last night, well, hey, you know.
Well, I don't want to get into last night. That was Big Daddy's a solo event, but we're going to get into that. Big Daddy was hanging out with the stars last night in New York City. We'll have to talk about that and On the Road with Big Daddy.
Well, the pay-per-view, World War III, sucked. Horrible pay-per-view by WCW. Probably the best match was like Juventud Guerrero against Billy Kidman for the Cruiserweight title, which Kidman did regain back. And the 60-man Battle Royal, which was won by Kevin Nash, who will fight Goldberg at Starrcade in December. I'm not sure where it's from, but Nash should...
as you predicted.
As
Stonecold Steve Cundy predicted, if you saw the show last week, he did pick Nash to win the 60-man Battle Royal. I saw the pay-per-view, and the Enforcer and myself were talking about the pay-per-views lately. WWF, WCW, it seems like their Monday night shows are more action-packed and better than the pay-per-views because they're going downhill. We discussed that.
And the Raw last week drew like a 5.5 rating. And that's better probably than the pay-per-view status was.
Well, McMahon's on her way back. And not to get off the beaten path here, but we're talking about the WWF. And as you can see, we have Newsweek here, okay? This month's, or this issue, November 23rd, 98. And in Newsweek, of all things, with all the politicians, all the things you can think and hear,
all the hype.
And look what they got in here.
Stonecold Steve.
They have a breakdown on professional wrestling with Stone Cold.
Would you believe that?
And of all magazines, Newsweek, who'd have thought of this?
I know, right? Go figure. But
everybody's trying to get a piece of the pie ever since Jesse Ventura won his governorship. Now Hogan's trying to run for president, and it's rumored, and I believe we discussed this before we went on air.
That's right.
That he may be retiring.
Yes.
On Jay Leno's Tonight Show, the Thanksgiving show.
This Thursday.
So everybody might want to tune in and check that out to see what's going to happen with Hogan. All you Hogan marks out there, and you know who I'm talking about. I think the show's coming out after this one.
There's a few out there. There's a few, Big Daddy. But last night, Shawn Michaels, new commissioner on the WWF.
I was very surprised at that. I didn't see it, but in the cab ride last night on the way home, Brian Mahoney, I'll give a little shout out, 38 years a New York City cab driver. It doesn't get
God
better
bless him.
than the garden sabrets, a little pork loin on a sandwich, and I'm telling you, it was incredible.
Was it really? Excellent. I'm glad you had a good time. He turned on X-Pac. A buddy of his, some DX. Hey, went to cheer.
Something like that was gonna come down. You knew that Hunter Hearst and X-Pac with Shawn Michaels and all them were gonna come back.
That's
when
right.
He comes back from his injury, you knew it was gonna be a split. At least I thought about that. I know it was discussed on some previous shows.
That's right.
That Michaels, I mean, they couldn't coexist. You knew that he was the founder, and I don't know if it couldn't be any worse than having Chin Boy as the commissioner or that washed up, overweight, 400-pound Gorilla Monsoon.
That's true.
No disrespect, Gorilla. But I love you, Monsoon. Rest in peace.
A lot of girls to the shows.
I say, nothing wrong with that, huh, big guy?
Well, and if anybody would know about girls, it would be the man with the short brown hair.
That's it, hey.
Styling.
Hate to brag, but I won't get into that. Rock Bottom, next pay-per-view for WF. The Rock against Mankind. Where do you see on that going?
Well, right now, obviously, The Rock is in favor with Vince McMahon, Titan Sports.
Oh yes.
So I don't see Mankind defeating The Rock. I think The Rock's going to hold on to this for a while. I saw this coming. He's a young, upcoming athlete. He's a third-generation wrestler. I think McMahon likes that. And I've heard no matter what you hear about McMahon, I heard he's loyal to his people.
That's true. That's very true. The Rock, right now, penciled in against Stonecold Steve Austin for WrestleMania 15 next year.
Now, where do you get all your news? Big Daddy don't even know that.
Well, hey, I got my sources, Big Daddy.
Now, are you willing to divulge some of these sources?
Oh, no.
Well, at least you're a man of character. At least so the Enforcer says so.
Well, hey, everybody's got their own people,
This is very true. I'm still impressed with this Newsweek article. I'm going to have to sit down and take a little read over this because Big Daddy, I read Newsweek, I read the New York Times, the LA Times, Penthouse, all them good magazines.
Yes, Big Daddy. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Doesn't make me a bad guy.
Not at all, not at all. We have Stone Cold against Undertaker in a Buried Alive match well at Rock Bottom.
They keep coming up with all these different kind of matches.
Creative matches, Vince McMahon. Very creative. Most definitely.
McMahon is pushing it to the limit, and he's definitely overtaken in their little war, Ted Turner. At least I think that's the way I see it.
Definitely Vince has got a lot more creativity, ideas, and really outshines WCW and Eric Bischoff.
WCW's getting some talent, though. They're getting a lot of talent. You see them with Bigelow and Wyndham, as you guys discussed last week. They're bringing a lot of talent, and they're expecting Sandman, I believe, and a couple other guys.
I think December or January coming in. And Vince wants Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, the Steiner brothers, all to come in Titan Sports.
Speaking of the Steiners, I can't get over Big Papa Pump. I'll tell you, if that kid's not juiced up or taking Andrew or creatine or eating a couple of Big Macs, the guy's ready to explode. I still can't get over Big Papa Pump. Should be competing in a bodybuilding show instead of wrestling.
That's true. That's
incredible to jack on that kid.
Almost like John Xavier, but better.
John Xavier. The kid's about this big. Yeah, he's got the
Rest
abs.
in peace, Xavier.
Right, he's about this big.
My old buddy.
Oh, jeez. But hey, last night on Raw, we saw Terry Reynolds and Jackie form like an alliance last night on Raw. Terry wore a nice skimpy outfit.
Anything can happen.
That's true. She wore a nice skimpy outfit. And Mara did fire Jackie on Heat this past Sunday. She cost the match in against the Big Boss Man on Heat. And maybe Terry and Jackie would team up in like a management role, or
that wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't see where they're going to go with the Big Boss Man. I see him coming in, he's doing this whole security thing with McMahon and being this thug. But where's he going to go? Where's his career going to go?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see what happens as far as that goes. But Dwayne Gill, the new light heavyweight champion, part of the Job Squad.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's a total injustice.
It is. It's Dwayne Gill, of all people.
Hey, he's got experience.
Well, that he does.
He's certainly got experience.
That he does. And Mankind, too, also part now of the Job Squad.
Well, you know what? I think they're getting a little carried away with the Job Squad. But if it's going to give guys who are normally preliminary bums a little push, I guess I would go for it too. He's got a different angle on everything, big man.
Bob Holly and Scorpio.
All those guys have been around for a long time.
Doing
They've all been
nothing,
training
really.
for years.
And finally they're getting their push in the business.
Hey, look at Al Snow. I mean, speaking of pushes and where people were a couple of months ago, Skull Von Crush, who worked for Tom Jeanette's Northeast Wrestling,
right,
at the North Haven Fair back in September.
That's right.
2 months ago, I'm sitting tilting a few back with him. Now he's in the ECW. Skull Von Crush. And I think he got some videos coming up tonight also on Ringside Seat.
Yes, we do. Of CPW, Big Daddy.
Really?
Some highlights of some matches we have. I know we have a phone call line. Number is 481-0868.
Say the truth, I don't care if we talk to anybody. Half the people out there got the brain of a turnbuckle anyway.
Well, that's either here or there, Big Daddy.
Thank God for the caller ID.
That's it. All right, you're live on the air. Hello.
Hello, hello.
We can't hear you out here, but go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Who do you think will win out of Kevin Nash and Goldberg?
Who win between Nash and Goldberg?
Yeah.
I'll probably have to go with Kevin Nash, Big Daddy. What about you?
Well, you took Nash to the 60-man battle royal, so that was a very informative and educational pick. But right now, since I can barely hear the phone caller, I don't know if they can hear it on the air. I like Nash to beat Goldberg, but Big Daddy was wrong when I predicted Hogan would beat him back in Hog Wild. So obviously, Goldberg is in great shape. They're giving this guy a major push. He's the champion, and sooner or later he's going to have to lose. Nash, I mean, who knows?
That's it.
Who knows?
Goldberg did not wrestle this past pay-per-view. Why can't someone wrestle on pay-per-view is beyond me.
But you know what? He grabbed that little weasel, Eric Bischoff, by the throat.
Yes, he
should
did.
have ripped out the Adam's apple or something.
Well, you should have. Bam Bam also came out and had a scuffle as well at the pay-per-view.
Bam Bam's a tremendous, tremendous athlete. He's been around for years, competed from everywhere from world class to WWF and everywhere in between.
WCW.
And he's a big,
ECW.
tough man.
That he is. And see
And
how
I like his chances, but I don't think Bigelow's going to be the one to beat him.
Well, he signed 3 years, Bigelow, to WCW, so we'll see how far he goes in that sport. And we will be asking.
I hope we answered the caller's question.
I hope so, too.
He didn't give us much of a thought, but we both like Nash.
That's right, exactly.
So there you go. That might be a pick that'll do it.
That's right, Big Daddy. And just to let people know that we'll be at the pizza party next week.
Well, pizza party, that sounds a little too sugar in the tank like for me. Not a pizza party.
No,
It's more of a meet and greet. And we'll be hanging out with the Enforcer and KC101's Kelly Nash. Dita Ripper, I'm sure will be there. Stone Cold, myself.
Oh, of course.
And I don't want to drop any names, but if it wasn't for the Enforcer, we may not be in there at all.
That's
but
true.
Kelly Nash, KC101,
Thanks, Enforcer.
stopped and hung out with them, and Enforcer showed us around the studios.
Yes, they did.
And they were very nice. They were very forthcoming. Kelly Nash,
Give
always
us
a
a
good
bird.
guy. I like his haircut. A little shine there on the head. I had to have the glasses on, but it's all good.
That's it.
KC101,
Nash, hell of a
meet
guy.
and greet
Meet and greet
at the Coliseum.
next Tuesday.
And you have to be somebody to be there. So most of the people, or matter of fact, all the people out in this audience, I assume you won't be there.
That's it, Big Daddy. It'll be style and profiling, if you will.
Styling and profiling.
All right, 481-0868 is our phone number here. We will get the footage in 1 minute. You're live on the air. Hello.
You're on.
Hello?
Ringside Seat.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, and I think that we keep getting that tonight. Hello, hello, are you there?
Hey, what's up, Big Daddy? This is Tommy from East Haven calling.
I'm sorry to hear that, Tom, but how are you?
Ah!
What's on your mind?
My question to you guys is, do you ever think there's going to be one true federation, like all of them merge?
I doubt it, really.
We could have one big super league.
Well, seeing that you're from East Haven, I can see you must have thought long and hard about that question. But because of no disrespect, I have a lot of friends in East Haven. But I think because of, and you can chime in on this if you want.
Of course.
Because of finances, and because of all the egos, and because they've been separated for so long. Back in the 80s, you used to have those supercars, but I don't think that would ever happen with Turner and McMahon owning these companies now.
Never
and the way they
happen.
clash and stick each other out.
Exactly.
They're on Front Street. Hey, caller, we're not talking to you. We're not talking to you, caller. We're talking.
That's
You
right.
make your turn.
Let me tell you something, Big Daddy. I'll come right over there and slam you.
Yeah, I know. That's what your girl said, too. Let's keep it a clean show. There'll be no slamming around here unless I do so.
Big Daddy, come down to Side Street on Monday night.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for your call.
Well, keep your offer in mind now. We got the footage ready to go to, I believe, Big Daddy. It's Rex Lethal against Joe Rules for the TV title in CPW. I know that you were called out of the broadcast booth.
I was definitely called out and caught out, but Big Daddy, under my tutelage that night, Rex Lethal became the TV champion, and Big Daddy's involved in many championship matches all over the country, and if not, maybe I'll get my own belt and make up my own championship match.
There you go, Big Daddy, and it will be well-deserved, I might add.
And that was a good question by that last caller, but
oh, yes, it was. Yes,
before you get to the video, I could never see that happen. Could never see it happen.
No, neither can I.
Too much money, too many egos,
Yeah.
too much politics. I really would never see it merge.
Never.
They'd lose money. They wouldn't make anything off it.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's going to lose, Austin or Goldberg?
Yeah, and they're not going to do that. They'll never.
And I see people keep giving us signals back there for the phone calls. I don't think he cares about the phone calls.
Not at all. Let's roll that footage.
Let's roll the videotape. Well, there's many glitches. Maybe we should go to the phone call.
Okay, let's go to the phone then.